Yeah, fucking up the audio and the audience's idea of fucking up the audio are two very different things.
Hey.
Just for the record.
Just no ear crits and we're okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we're good to go.
All right. Welcome to Four Brewers. My name is Matt Becker, and as always, I am joined by
John Holzer,
Jason Harris,
Greg Nagel.
And we have two of the Four Brewers just got back from the Great American Beer Festival. So we got a plethora of GABF medalists here.
Heck
They brought a
yeah.
little bit of GABF home with them, and by home with them, I mean we bought all this beer here.
yeah,
Pretty much.
because SoCal did really well at
Yeah.
GABF for
Yeah.
I
the awards.
saved all the
Killed
1 ounce
it.
samples and brought a growler full of the 1 ounce samples. It took a long time to do, but I think you'll be pleased with the results here.
That sounds super gross.
It's Cuvée de GABF.
No, it's just about like all like those nasty pictures.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Like
The foamy pictures.
Yeah, just trying to like hang on to that for any amount of time. Even leaving it in your glass for too long is probably not a good idea there.
Yeah.
The bad thing with those pitchers is the breweries that are kind of not as well known, they just sit in the
sit
pitcher.
for a
Like if you're well known, they're rotating out pretty consistently, you know. But you go to they're like, oh yeah, we'll pour you some beer, and it's like this is kind of warm and a little flat.
Yeah,
So,
well, especially like the Thursday, Friday sessions. But before we start getting too deep into it, we're drinking some Taps beer.
Taps. Taps Brea.
Nagel, you're the OC specialist. What do we have?
We
what
have
are drinking here?
amend this. It's a 5.5.
Took a bronze. Took a bronze.
It's an American light lager.
Looks like Corona
And-
took a couple of gold. Maybe we could have stopped over there. Great.
Yeah.
Great.
It was pretty cool to see craft beer taking the American light lager categories. Normally it's like Miller Lite and
It's PBR.
PBR.
Yeah, you
and
usually
Olympia.
wait. Well, you
PBR,
usually,
Miller Lite, Coors Light.
you usually wait during the awards to see the macro brands come up for that, and it was surprising. It was like, oh no, they didn't
Wow.
get it.
Yeah, I know we aren't actually featuring this one, but our local brewery here, Dale Brothers, took a bronze, I think, in
cream ale, of all things,
which
yeah.
is like the category that Pabst owns generally.
Yeah.
Like they own cream ale.
Yeah.
IE really did well this year.
Yeah, they took a bronze, Dale Brothers, for Nuff, which is
Yeah.
their American style cream ale.
Yeah, that
Which-
a little bit later on the show, we're going to have also IE Ritual. We got some Fat Hog barley wine. But Taps, while we're drinking Taps, just crushed.
4 medals between the two locations, and also the Corona location got the best mid-size brewery, brew pub,
yeah.
and brew team of the year.
That's insane.
Yeah,
I think that's the third time they've taken it.
they took gold in chocolate beer and Irish Red.
Yeah, Irish Red. What was the chocolate beer? I'm not even familiar.
Velvet Hog.
Velvet Hog is
Yeah, the Velvet Hog.
Yeah.
So the
That
Velvet
was-
Hog.
Yeah, the Velvet Hog.
I believe it was
Not the Fat Hog, the
I believe
Velvet
it was
Hog.
the Velvet Hog.
I think they do that beer collaborative with a restaurant next door to the Brea location. It's called Lily's Q.
Okay.
They do a
Is
couple
it
of beers just
barbecue?
for them. Yeah, it's a barbecue joint.
Got it.
Yeah, really good stuff.
So hence
Check it
the
out.
hog. This is really great. It's definitely like macro-y, but like a bit more refined. But speaking of which, we're all drinking this light lager out of tissue glasses.
yeah,
Like
of
literally.
course, just to keep it legit.
You know why? Because we can. You know,
It reminds me a lot of their cream ale, but without that ester profile.
Yeah, it has. I like how it has just that little tinge of acetaldehyde, just a touch.
What won gold in this category? Just to kind of put it in with its fellows. Let's look it up.
You're the one with the Chromebook in front of you.
Oh no! Oh shit! Oh fuck!
Oh
Fuck.
shit!
Ass!
with great power
Shit.
comes great responsibility.
You guys fill time.
Damn.
So Take-Two glasses. Speaking of Take-Two glasses, John, you've got the new looking Take-Two, which is what's the deal with that?
We went to the media luncheon for GABF. I think it was
Friday morning.
Friday. And they were giving these out as you're walking out, and it was like,
Nice.
can we take those? And they're like, yeah, take it.
I gave mine back
So,
because I had no place to put it.
I had mine in Aaron Champion from Cask Ale, LA.
Yep.
I put them in my camera bag. They fit perfect where my
Nice.
camera's supposed to go. So I had my camera out. We went on the bus tour. We went to Barrels Beer Company. The bus tour is a thing that happens after the media luncheon.
Right.
Barrels Brewing Company, they do a lot of barrel beers, but their name is spelled Beryl because it's a mineral I think you can find. It's
Beryllium?
well, no, I think it's just barrel. It's not beryllium. It's spelled Beryl. They were pretty good. And then we went to Factotum, which is a brewery that all of their beers are guest beers. So if they're a brew on premise kind of place, not like Wix, where they have like those individual kettles and stuff. They have, I think it's a 3-barrel or a 5-barrel brew house, and you submit a recipe and they kind of tweak it and stuff, and then you go and brew it there, and then they serve it, and it costs $350 to brew there. You get a keg of beer out of it, and then you get $100 in you get like $100 tab for the bar. So you're paying $250 for a keg of beer.
So it's like a
tab.
brew commune almost.
Sounds like it, yeah.
Because you want to like have a keg, but also you're gonna hang out there a bunch.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you're in that zone, then it's like, all right.
You want to be like, this is my beer.
But they promote the beers as, this beer was made by this person. They have a book with the recipes in them, like in the corner, like it's this whole little thing. So, because we were drinking a couple of the beers, and I was with Aaron from Cascade LA. And I was thinking they should have the recipes out, and they totally did. It's like this little altar they have.
Nice.
But their beers were actually pretty good. I was expecting a lot of mediocre kind of stuff. Their IPAs were the West Coast IPA we had. Not a West Coast IPA. It was
lacking
in the
middle of the country IPA.
We will discuss non-West Coast IPAs in another episode.
It's a flyover state IPA.
Their Pro-Am beer was a Kolsch. It was pretty damn good. So, and I think both these breweries, maybe Barrels was older than a year, but Factotum was less than a year old, and it's a pretty sweet looking brewery.
I think the media lunch tours, they like to show you kind of what's open since last GABF. And I was on a different bus than John. I went to one called Spangalang. And I walked in, and there's
Black Betty, Spangalang, whoa,
Totally.
Black Betty.
all the masturbation jokes,
I went Skrillex with it.
Spangalang.
Jesus Christ.
I walked in.
to all my Lost Boys.
There's a dude playing xylophone, walking in, just randomly.
Just a dude hanging out like bling, 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 bling.
And come to find out, like it's a startup from.
That's a marimba, okay?
Okay, yeah.
You can marimba all you want,
Thanks, man.
Mister.
Marimba if you want to. Leave your friends behind.
We're all right. First show, third show.
Spangalang. It's 10 o'clock in the morning here.
Yep.
Spangalang was started by some brewers, I guess, that worked at Great Divide for a great many years and decided to start their own thing.
And decided to divide themselves.
There was a great divide in the breweries.
There was a great divide.
They won a medal too, which is pretty cool.
Like the noble cell, they divided and recreated.
Exactly.
Science?
Yeah.
Question?
Not really. But
so
Getting
believe
back
it or
to
not,
summer.
this category was all craft breweries.
Nice.
Yeah, the gold was taken by Austin Beer Garden Brewing Company, and with Rocket 100.
Wow.
No.
Okay.
And Mexican Lager by Ska took second.
Oh, no shit.
Took silver. Yeah.
So go back a year or maybe 2 years on the GABF thing.
Oh,
the time machine.
Oh Lord.
Here we go.
Well, while
I just want to see what won last year.
While that's going down, we got another Taps beer here. What do we got there?
What do we have? We have the Keller beer. This is essentially their German export Dortmunder unfiltered.
So last year also three craft breweries. American style lager is all big beer, and then American style Pilsner is all craft beer.
Yeah.
It's like
I vividly remember last year seeing, big brewery for all
Yeah, there was one year where it was like, all the Pabst.
Yep.
Which Pabst actually won a couple medals this year too.
Pabst didn't even make their own beer.
I think Rainier and Olympia won for weird categories.
Fuck, the Rainier and Olympia are pretty bad too.
Oh god, they're horrible.
Because I try to be a connoisseur of the cheap local beer of wherever I go, and which generally is all brewed by Pabst.
Yeah.
And Rainier and Olympia were both pretty bad.
Oh yeah, that's when you were up in
Seattle.
in SeaTac.
The Olympia does have the benefit of getting a Rancid song stuck in my head. Like every time I drink it, I just be like, back to.
I just heard a whole song yesterday that.
Oh god,
I never listened to that.
Do you only listen to part songs?
Huh? Yeah, she mentioned Olympia. It's like,
Hi, Thirsty, I'm dead.
Of course, you're from Olympia.
It was actually a pretty good song. That whole
It
song.
is, yeah.
I forget where I heard it the other day, but I was like, oh, this song's actually pretty good.
I think that's Live Through This. That's the name of the album.
Yeah.
I never actually.
that's the one whole album that's worth listening to.
Yeah,
It was
it's really
actually
good.
A pretty good album. Yeah,
It
I
was a good
listened to
record.
it through recently. It was on some magazine's best records of whenever list.
Right. Yeah.
And I was listening to it and I was like, oh, there's actually some good songs in this fucking album.
album's gonna give you 90s nostalgia.
It didn't do that for me. It was kind of like, yeah, this is kind of punk rock. I kind of like it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but-
because I never listened to anything except for like doll parts and like the radio songs, right?
Yeah.
right.
But
That's when I never heard that song because that's all I listened to.
I think I had the tape of it, but I like listened to it like once and immediately never fucking played it again.
Right. Yeah. It's because you can like smell Courtney Love through like the record.
Oh God.
the essence.
Yeah.
Of Courtney.
Wow.
Courtney Love.
Wow.
Courtney Love's a Patreon, and she's just like, you know what? Fuck that. They're not getting any more of my Kurt Cobain money.
They're not getting any more of Kurt's money. So
this is
what's
good.
What's the deal with this Keller?
It's
beer?
a Keller beer.
They metal for
I
this
think
one?
it's their. Yeah, this is a.
This was the silver.
Super.
Oh no! Amend this. Took a bronze, and this one is a silver.
They got 4 medals total, right?
Yeah.
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 Super.
Between 2 locations.
Super bready.
I get some watermelon
Very
note to
bready
it.
doughy.
Yep, doughy.
One thing about taps, I think this will kind of. I mean, I don't want to talk about the Golden Road thing, but Victor Novak was the head dude at Taps for a while,
For 15 years, yeah.
for a long time actually. This says a lot about like him passing down his knowledge to the guys that took over at Taps.
Right.
I mean, the fact that they did so well at GABF really says a lot about the guys at Taps, but also about Victor Novak and how
Damn straight.
how good he is at teaching people how to properly brew. Like when I was talking to Steve, he's in Brea. He's the head brewer at Brea. It was kind of neat hearing him talk about really technical brewing stuff, like the malts they used in certain beers and why they did this, and
Right.
because he is a huge beer geek, and
Yeah.
he used to work for the post office, and then Victor kind of brought him over to Taps, and it was like a really risky move for Steve. But it was really cool hearing his point of view on things, and it's like you actually not that I didn't. I'm not saying he didn't know how to brew, but it's like you are a professional brewer. That's really neat. Like,
Well, and you know what? It's interesting though too, because interacting more and more, there's such a variety in the craft beer industry. You talk to some people, and like their approach to professional brewing is not all that different than their approach to home brewing. You know, and some people are goddamn professionals at it. You know, there's a big variance amongst brewers, so
Yeah.
it really shows the
Yeah.
places that are taking a real professional approach to it. It shows through, and I mean, you're seeing it in stuff like this. You know,
Yeah,
Taps
exactly.
consistently outperforming, and these are in challenging styles like
exactly.
lagers.
This is
you
not
know.
yeah. It's going to cost you a little more for tank space and stuff to do these like delicate lagers and stuff. But goddamn.
Yeah,
You
they're
know?
killing it.
It's
I
also
mean,
kind of thankless, right? Like in today's beer world, like nobody cares that you made a gold or a medal winning Keller beer.
Well, Jonathan,
But we
he's
care.
at Brea also, right?
Jonathan, I think he's the Corona guy.
Is he? I don't know.
He's the man.
Yeah, he posted something on Facebook about how someone came in and he's talking. It's like, yeah, we won Brew Pub of the Year.
Best Brew Pub of the Year.
Right.
And they're like, oh, cool, I'll take a Bud Light. And he was just like, what? No, we just won
Yeah.
this major award. And
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Well,
so.
Taps is in this weird zone where it's like it feels like it's still a restaurant first and a brewery second.
I totally
it
agree.
is.
And
Yeah.
so it's like for me, it doesn't make my radar of like a place to go for beer, even though they make exceptional beer.
Yeah.
necessarily.
Right. I agree.
Because it's it's more, it's not really even a brew pub. It's just a nice restaurant that just so happens to make their own beer there, and
Yeah,
it just so
it's-
happens to be like medal winning. Awesome.
Taps
Yeah,
is a lot of things to me. I mean, from the Orange County perspective, like one of the best fucking happy hours you can visit. I mean,
Don't they have really
and
great
the brunches?
oysters?
Oh, the oyster bar.
Oh, I was hearing somebody was
Like,
just telling me about
crazy.
like a $30 all you can eat brunch, and I was thinking of doing that on Sunday.
Oh,
You should.
It's like, yeah, you go down there, and I'm like, man, I can get day drunk. I can get all the brunch, all the seafood and breakfast I can eat.
right.
Dude,
I don't know how
it's so good.
Shrimp
I don't know how
omelets.
hungover seafood's gonna go, but we'll find out.
There's only one way to find out. And that's to try. God damn it.
I love taps. They're so good, dude.
Yeah, the Corona one. You know what's funny is I've been to the Brea
never
one
been to
more
Corona.
than Corona, even though I'm closer to Corona.
I've been to the. I actually have never been to the Brea one before. Strangely
That's
enough.
all I've been to.
Even though it's down the street from where I work.
I had a Chilean sea bass there once, and it was a delight.
Oh,
Yeah, there's the new Irvine location too. That it's
yeah.
kind of in the middle of like Tustin and
They
Irvine.
didn't win any medals.
There's no brewery there. They don't brew there.
Well, fuck them.
Well, I mean, it's like Brea and Corona feed into their Irvine location. Their number one.
Sucks to be them.
What's a cool story though is each location has their like number one selling beer. So like Brea is all about the cream ale. I think the Corona one's all about the grapefruit IPA, and like weird beers kind of make it out of the Irvine location. Like
weird.
yeah, like the German lagers and stuff.
Right on.
Interesting. Good to know.
Good job, Taps.
Good job, Taps.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of Orange County, staying in the Nagel wheelhouse, another Orange County brewery that did really well is our buddies at Bottle Logic.
How do you feel about tasting some gold medal winning beer here, guys?
I think I'm ready now.
I bet the gold makes the beer taste terrible.
Let's start off with Logarithm, the American Dark.
American Dark Lager won gold for the second year in a row.
Logarithm got gold. American style dark lager.
Yeah, and I think Logarithm refers to the
You're
fact
like
that
the GABF announcer now. It's like, that is Logarithm.
I gotta
with
say
a
something
gold
about that
medal
guy that-
for- I didn't know there was actually an announcer. I
No,
just,
it's the
imagine-
same guy. The last, well,
He
as long
always
as
does
I,
it.
he does a really good job, and
he
he
has, like,
kind of throws in little jokes
snide
here and there.
commentary? Yeah.
it's nice. What was the one? The quad.
Oh my god, the quad.
the quad with like the
Belgian
super shitty
Rock
name or
out.
something.
It was like quad. God damn it! I
It's
shouldn't
like
have
rock
even
out
said
with your
this.
quad out or something like that, right?
It's a dumb name.
No, it was rock out with my Bach out. That was one of them.
Oh, that's good.
the Bach, yeah.
With my
But-
Quad Damn It is pretty funny.
Quad damn it, and there was another damn it beer or something like that. Yeah, whatever. It was
somebody
funny.
needs
They
to do
both
a
run in the
quad
same
damage.
category.
what did he say about it?
Huh?
He said that there was funny commentary.
Well, he just commented on how. I mean, you had to be there, kind of thing. It's not that funny when I
Cool
retell
story,
it.
bro.
Exactly.
I like the one where he's like, best large brewery of the year is silence, and then there's like, "Hey!" It's hilarious. Somebody broke a glass. When, like,
Oh, yeah,
nice.
yeah.
Yeah.
And he made a comment on
Oh, that was
that.
the pro-am winner. Yeah, it was funny.
Bottle Logic won 2 golds, actually. They took a Baltic Porter for their Baltic Porter, also got a gold.
Which we have.
Which we have.
Oh, shit.
But
which we have the actual bottle.
Logarithm. See, honestly, I really like the whole Logarithm thing because they literally moneyballed it. Like, they were like, what category can we like figure out, enter a beer, and fucking medal in because we want to medal? God damn it.
I think there was like 45 entries for American Dark Lager, and those are pretty good odds. I mean, for comparison, IPA had 330 something.
Yeah, literally 10 times more.
Yeah, and they saved the IPA winner for last. I don't know why they did that, because it was like when they announced it, they're like,
because it's the biggest category.
yeah, I know, but it was like only one. Like there was only 3 breweries that won, so why wait? I
Well,
don't know.
here's the thing: breweries know what categories they enter, and so they're like, "Oh, we're past
Oh,
number 47. We didn't win.
That's true.
Bye."
They did say that. They
Yeah,
didn't
so
want to
then
go
there's
even.
300 breweries that are like, well, I got to hang out and see if we won IPA or not.
Yeah, it's like it's like having to say to the end of the credits, you're like, fuck.
Because that definitely is like, if you win IPA, which Wicked Weed got fucking second.
Wicked Wabe. You know what's funny, though, is that in general, I've never been super impressed by the IPA medal winners. Even like Pizza Port won it a couple years ago at San Clemente, and I went and had that, and it wasn't even the best IPA that they had on that day.
I don't know, man. Like, I think I like it because to me, I always use that category as a way to kind of reorient my IPA taste in a way. You know, just knowing that like whichever one wins, like the best example was the Tap It IPA
Oh, yeah,
when
yeah.
Tap It won gold.
Still have not tried that.
It's good. It's great. It's a great beer. It's not like mind blowing, but god damn it, if it doesn't hit every single mark of the category, you know, and that's what it is. You know, not only that, but also Union Jack is like that one like 3 years in a row or something like that.
That's another
Such a good
brewery
beer.
that swept GABF,
5
which
medals.
is coming up too.
Oh yeah, they crushed.
Firestone Walker.
Of course, they fucking
Hey,
crush.
new category session IPA. Anaheim also did pretty good, and are also our buddies at Society.
Society took the gold.
So the
for
Coachman
Yeah.
and Nose Candy.
and Noble.
Noble took
Nobles.
bronze for Nose
Bronze.
Candy.
Heck yeah.
that beer is fucking good.
Best, name,
oh my
best
God.
name ever for a beer. Like, holy
Like,
shit.
I crushed the shit out of that beer. Oh
Yeah.
my
I drank a
God.
growler.
Yeah,
It's crucible.
161 entries in that category, and to win bronze in that's pretty fucking phenomenal. Think about entering a beer like that where it doesn't travel well. It's a very
really-
delicate style. Like your hops are gonna
It's gonna fade really fast.
right, and to get bronze in that.
I was
really
talking
cool.
to Gemma from Firestone, and they did not enter Easy Jack into that category just because they were concerned about the hops feeding out. Because I don't know exactly how it works, but it wouldn't have been. It's at its optimal freshness entering it into that category. So they said we're not going to enter it because we don't want it to suffer.
Which is weird because like I've had that beer a couple of times, like not old exactly, but like, you know, month, 5 weeks or so, and it holds up really fucking
Yeah,
well.
it's pretty
Yeah.
good.
It really
The thing about
holds
the
up
session
well.
IPA category too, I mean, it's such the translation of session IPA is so diverse. Like there's a lot of breweries that just go for that hop water kind of thing,
Yep,
and
hop
there's
water,
a lot that go for a big malt backbone and like a big hop nose and hop flavor.
Right.
It's all over the place. Like I just had Jibe from Green Flash last night, and that it's a really tasty beer. I wouldn't call it a really hoppy session IPA. It's just kind of balanced, hoppy, but like it's got a really interesting malt thing happening. And for breweries to win in that category, it's almost, I don't know. I want to say it might be more difficult to win in that than the regular IPA category.
Yeah, for sure.
Because because if you're going for a good IPA, let's be honest, you're going for a West Coast IPA.
I mean,
right?
a session IPA.
The marks are already pretty well defined.
Believe it or not, though, so check it out. Let's talk about American style IPA results because there's some interesting stuff in there. Gold medal was a brewery in Santee, which is like a suburb of San Diego.
Heck yeah.
Who I've never heard of. B&S Brewing and Distilling.
BNS.
Right.
I'm gonna go there now.
They took a fucking gold medal in IPA, so that's huge. Pernicious IPA we talked about from Wicked Weed took silver.
Which we tried on
The
Florida. That was
bronze
good.
medal was a beer that the only reason I've heard of this beer was that Paste Mag or somebody did like a
their giant tasting or whatever.
where how do they afford these things? Like, because they also take a picture of like a full pint of it, which is like you just had to burn that one.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, how many beers do you get? Do you buy like 3 of each? Do you just get them provided because you're kind of a real magazine?
yeah, that's probably
Like,
it.
God damn it. Because they'll be like,
I
yeah,
don't
we
know.
did 140 IPAs.
Dude,
and we
magazines like that's legit shit to businesses. So you work for a magazine? No, I have a blog. No, no.
Yeah, exactly.
But like, I mean, even Greg you're with Orange Coast, and I
Yeah.
think you've got.
Suddenly he has credibility.
How are you going to see Frank Turner as press? by the way?
I asked.
under what? Just under Greg
Orange
Nagel?
Coast. Yeah.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, he works for a
I
magazine.
said I would like to cover House of Blues.
Do you need
beer.
a friend to go with you to
Yeah.
take photos?
I already have tickets. I was like, I already have tickets to this event and would like a press pass. And they're like, absolutely. Here we go.
Can you take a +1? Because if your wife's not going, I'll
You
go.
should also apply for press.
But I don't work for Orange Coast
That's
magazine.
Four Brewers. The Four Brewers podcast.
You can maybe have my ticket and
There we
we
go.
can trade camera gear.
So about beer.
So
Yeah, back to live with them here.
the bronze medal winner was White Raja from the Brew Kettle in Strongsville, Ohio.
I have had that beer.
And that was
It is excellent.
That was the #1 beer. They were like, we had never heard of this beer, but out of like 130 IPAs, it was the #1 that they did.
Nice.
So apparently some justification for that, because sometimes those Paste Mag rankings, I look at that and I'm like, really?
Yeah, exactly.
Some of them, like, I can get that, but
it's
some
like our
of them-
#1 was Maharaja.
This
Like,
magazine,
ugh.
you have to, grain of salt. It's dudes like us doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Right.
You know?
But they have a magazine backing them up.
You don't know exactly who's doing this.
They got
But they
that-
get it printed on paper.
They got that magazine money.
I mean, even Esquire, Aaron Goldfarb kind of writes for them, and it's like, dude.
You know
like,
what? You know what
what's
made
your
me
articles
mad
come
is
from?
because Pacemag can post on Reddit and nobody shits on it, and every time we post on Reddit, people are like, "Fuck you."
Your glassware is wrong.
Yeah, right.
Your glassware.
Oh my god! Bringing it back to GABF, we had this rad restaurant called Acorn, and the table next to us is all Alpine people.
Yeah.
And we're like, by the way,
We sat down and I'm like, we came all the way to Colorado to sit next to people from Alpine, like
Wait, like from the brewery or the city?
the brewery.
from the brewery.
Oh, okay.
You know, the
Yeah.
brewery is in the
Brewers.
city.
Like,
for the
Yeah,
record.
but I didn't know if you meant these are employees of Alpine Brewery or just like we're from Alpine, the city.
And,
yeah,
and
it
who,
was-
did
that's
we end up talking
amazing.
to is Sean McElhaney,
Really?
Pat's son. Yeah.
And we're like, yeah, we did a show and compared your beers to the Green Flash beers, and you should check it out. Like we weren't trying. We explained we weren't trying to be dickish about it, but it was a
exploratory.
scientific
We did a blind
experiment.
and blonde maybe as well.
He's
But
like, yeah, I heard about that from the CEO of fucking Green Flash.
cool guys though. It
We
was,
caught a real rash of the shit over
it
that.
was cool to hear, they weren't like, huge assholes about it. They were just like, we applaud your blind, tasting and exploratory beer geeky.
I really am interested in the argument, which I've heard a couple different times, and they kind of sort of alluded to it in the response from Green Flash, that the version that Green Flash is brewing of Duet is the actual, like,
The
vision.
idealized
Yeah, it's the
version.
vision of it, and it's Alpine that's not the Alpine brewery that's missing it because they have consistency issues there.
Yeah. Well,
I find that difficult to believe, personally.
I mean, they do have consistency issues.
yeah, but that's saying something like that seems to be more like well, it's out of our control. It's like, no, it's not. I don't know, but that's kind of another thing. Do we want to do the porter here?
Yeah, do you want to do Cobaltic Porter or liven up our palates with a sour opal?
I think we'll stick with the bottle logic.
Yeah, let's stick
Okay.
with the bottle logic, and then we'll do the sour opal later.
So this is a cool thing that
I kinda wanna do that last.
Bottle Logic gave to us was an actual bottle that they sent to GABF for judging.
How to get back?
how logical?
I don't think they sent it. They had like an
Oh,
extra
okay.
bottle that they bottled.
Like it's got a
And,
mailing label
yeah,
kind
yeah.
of label on it. There's no label. Per
Yeah,
se.
actually, I'm pretty sure this is what they send you, or this is how they specify that
Right,
they
right.
want the
entered.
bottles to be labeled. Yeah.
Also, an important time to talk about, because me and Matt were just sitting at home weeping while John and Greg were at GABF.
Hey,
you were
could've done
not.
that.
You
Oh,
were
yeah.
having GIEBF.
That's
By the
why-
way, fuck you
thanks
guys.
for fucking burying the lead. God damn it, John.
You had GAYBF.
fucking wrecked. Got him.
Zing.
GABF.
Zing.
Yeah, we do.
It's better than F bag.
We have a tradition of when we're not at GABF of doing the GIEBF, which is the Great Inland Empire Beer Festival, which is me and my friends drinking beer at my friend's house like we do
Johnny.
most every Saturday
By the
night.
way, guys, Matt and Jason, you're going.
Yeah.
If I
We're planning
next
on
year,
it
you're
next year.
going. If
right.
I've seen brewery employees there that I'm like, why are they there?
Yeah.
and Matt can't go.
Matt is not.
Because I'm a production
I
person,
know,
and
but
that's why I can't
I think
go.
if you give them enough notice-
the person who does society events gets to go, but the person who makes
Matt?
the beer doesn't get to go. I'm not mad about it or anything. I'm fine. It's
Can
cool.
can we get the ball rolling
Well,
right
someone's
now?
gotta-
Maybe a
someone's
year
gotta
in
make-
advance.
someone's-
Please.
Patrick.
Nah.
I feel like
Should I call Patrick Rue?
I feel like working
Yeah,
at
you do that.
I
Go for
will.
it.
All right.
I
then
feel
will.
like working at a brewery and taking the GABF weekend off is like working at Target and trying to take off Thanksgiving weekend. It's like, no,
Yeah.
Why?
we need you here.
Well, nothing
Black Friday.
special's happening at the brewery. They're just it's business as usual at the brewery.
Everyone's gone, so they need someone to make the beer.
Yeah.
But what did you do at GABF was happening? Did you just brewed beer?
made brew.
That's
yeah,
what
I
he
make
does
beer
every
Okay.
day.
That's my thing. That's what I
know,
do there.
but I'm just saying it's not like anything special happened.
Well,
He pushed a button.
what
If it's during
Hey, I pushed
Thanksgiving,
several buttons.
There was
Thank
buttons
you very
pushed.
much. I pushed
just
buttons
saying.
and I turned valves.
well, I don't think anything special happens on any given day, but it's producing beer.
This-
if you
okay.
stop producing it, then they don't have any beer.
this is all. This is all I'm saying. I think Matt can at least take because you don't. Do they still not produce on the weekends?
Yeah, no, they don't do weekends.
So you can at
Yeah.
least take a Friday off.
Yeah.
It's one day.
Yeah.
Like, come out to GABF, hang out, so we're all four there. I think that's a good compromise. I don't know why we're talking about your work schedule on the show.
Yeah,
I'm just saying
seriously.
I want all four of us at GABF. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I agree. That would be fun.
So
this beer is
Cobaltic Porter,
delicious. Yeah.
it's so fucking good.
This is really, really good. It has that
It's very cobaltic.
that like cocoa toast thing, you know?
And it finishes so clean.
It's
though.
finishes super clean. It's kind of Venice in a way. A little bit. It's got like a grapeskin type thing.
Yeah. Maybe some oats.
I haven't tried it.
It's definitely oaty.
Yeah, it's got a nice malt profile.
Yeah.
That is nice.
Dude, that
Chocolate,
finish is so
definitely.
good.
Yeah. Do you know if they did this with actual like lager yeast or
It is lager yeast, yeah.
good for them.
Maybe the same one as Logarithm.
That is really good. It sure is. It's like a chocolate raisin.
Yeah.
Yeah, good call.
Yeah, for sure. For sneeze.
More chocolate than raisin, but it's got a little bit of raisinette on the finish there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn good beer. Orange County, home of the fucking loggers.
I guess so. Yeah, that's like a real thing that's happening, isn't it?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Good for them.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, this is a great beer.
Oh, wow. Wow, you brewed it with lager yeast.
It's like, yeah.
So,
Dude, you know, I was watching Old School the other day, and Luke Wilson did it. Not Owen Wilson, but his brother Luke. He's like, "Wow, guys! Like, it's like a little bit less cat-like, but it's the family. I feel like their
Cat-like.
dad's got like a really dope wow.
Yeah, exactly.
He's just like, oh wow, son.
It's like, oh wow, you guys. I don't know. That's not a good impression
great.
of what that could sound like.
Rebel Wilson or whoever their dad is. I don't know.
were there any
Rebel Wilson is a woman.
Or so you think.
I don't think there was any shenanigans this year. I think I was very well behaved at GABF.
You should
Definitely.
eat ham this year.
No ham.
No ham.
No
There was
hangovers.
no ham.
No ham, bro. Ham.
There was no ham. You did not go ham.
I ate a salad the night before the flight, and that was not a good idea.
I smelled it during the night.
Oh, God.
Yeah. And I had
Oh, fiber.
what did I have? Some kind of veggie sandwich with a mushroom as
It was
like
like
the meat.
eggplants or something.
It was really good, but yeah, it didn't work well the next
Yeah,
morning.
we were hurting.
Man, I hate,
I had to buy
I hate pooping in
Pepto.
hotel rooms with guests. Like it just,
We had no fan, too, so that was the thing.
yeah. It was a nice hotel though,
How many
and it was
people
so
were there?
close to the convention center. It was just me and Greg.
Can we get like an Airbnb?
That's
I tried.
Greg
I
can
tried.
speak about that.
Yeah, whenever you put a GABF in your Airbnb thing, people are like, nope.
They're
Yeah.
like, yeah, we don't want a drunk guy here.
So, yeah, we're in town to smoke pot, and they're like, yes.
Speaking of which,
Yeah, okay.
Nope.
Okay. Here's what we do. Next year, we put that we're going to be there to smoke pot, and I will smoke lots of pot there, so it's a believable story.
Definitely.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Okay.
Matt's going to the GAWF.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. That would be rad. I think that's just called the Cannabis Cup.
how boring would the GAWF be?
It would be fucking awesome. Are you kidding me?
No, I mean everyone gets stoned and like it's just mellow and quiet.
Yeah, it would just be real cloudy.
And then anytime somebody drops a bong, it's like, ah!
You've got a taster bong. It's like that
A little
big.
taster.
No, the difference is someone would drop the bong and everyone would go, oh, like I would be like, bro,
What's
how
the,
shitty.
what's the equivalent of like a 1 ounce pour at the GA Weed Festival?
That would be a snap, which you everyone would have their own bong they would carry around. They would just put a tiny little nug in there for you, like this is our White Widow.
When I was in the band Better Luck Next Time, our first name was Snap Out, just because like Chris smoked weed, our drummer, like he, like obsessively, and he sold it, and he's all about weed, and yeah, so we had a weed name, Snap
Wicked.
Out, like
Nice.
because he'd say, "Let's snap out."
Oh, got it.
Get it?
That's
yeah.
Snap out with her snatch out.
I never snapped out though because yeah, I can't.
yeah.
But
So-
yeah, there were no shenanigans this year at GABF. I think it went pretty well. I saw.
I smoked some pot walking down the street.
I didn't want to bring that up, so
That was awesome.
I didn't know if that was cool.
Who with? Anyone we know?
A brewer.
Dustin Crowell
Yeah.
of the Firestone Walkers.
Oh,
nice.
speaking of Firestone Walker, I forgot which. I didn't get his name.
Sour Opal.
One of their brewers listens to our show and was like stoked. He's like, "You're John from Four Brewers?"
Really?
Great. And I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah. He's like, I love your show. I love your show. And we were
Really?
Gemma was,
If he listens to our show, then he knows we love their brewery.
Yeah. No.
Fuck.
and I was like, that's fucking awesome. Like, I am validated because someone at Firestone.
You know,
Dude,
it feels
likes
like
our show.
it feels like a lot of people who like work in beer like get us.
Which is pretty surprising. What, dude? Weird thing, dude that I knew in high school got in touch with me over Facebook, and he's like, "Dude, I listen to podcasts, and I just came across your show." And I'm like, "Sweet, I haven't talked to you in like fucking 10 years, but right on."
That's dope, man.
Yeah, what's up to Kyle?
We gotta figure out how to take down all these boring beer podcasts. And like we're battling.
Go on a beer podcast massacre.
I want to go on a little side rant here with the GABF. There was a North American Guild of Beer Writer thing.
Beer
And,
Writers Guild.
Beer Writers Guild
we
thing.
got sour fucking grapes about it.
Doesn't Jay
Not
Brooks?
yeah, Jay Brooks. He's one of the volunteers that kind of heads up the thing. But
Yeah.
there was a best podcast category, and obviously we didn't win. You know, big deal. But what did win was some podcasts that don't actually podcast anymore.
Yeah, one of them was a woman who had a radio show on
Lisa
a
Morrison.
FM talk station.
That's Lisa Morrison, and like
But
we
she's
had
pretty
a bit
rad.
of, we had a bit of side conversation about this, and of all people, like Lisa Morrison is legit.
To be
pretty rad,
fair,
yeah.
Not
though,
to speak to the quality of her show, but her show was canceled in February
Yeah.
and does not exist anymore. And it's like, so this show hasn't made anything in 8 months and is over forever, and that's what wins for the year.
And here we
Yeah.
are talking about it.
to be fair, like I listened to her show and it's well done. But 2 of the 3 winners were radio shows that also like export their radio show as an MP3 and put it on an RSS
on the
feed,
internet, yeah.
also known as a podcast. They're not an actual podcast. We're not on the radio. We're a podcast.
Right.
I thought that was very telling. And I guess a lot of the writing that was submitted was also professionally done, like for Beer Advocate and for newspapers and
Yeah,
stuff.
all about Beer Mag.
But they did have they had a blog category and a podcast category, but I feel like, I don't know, I feel like they didn't actually put effort into listening to the podcast and giving them a fair shot.
It leaned towards traditional media for sure.
For the record, we may not have done very well because of all the references to dick.
Well, I mean, I think
know,
that we
just
submitted 3 episodes
Yeah,
that
I
were
don't know.
fairly clean.
Yeah.
Noble, that was one of the shows we submitted our live, our on location Noble show, and that was a funny show. It was an informative show, and it was on location, and it sounded amazing. I know I'm patting myself on the back and all
was
of us
pretty
on
good.
the back.
You deserve a pat on the back for our audio, John.
We did a great job on that. We weren't in a studio. We were in a brewery, and it sounded like we were in a studio. You know,
And it was fun to listen to.
exactly.
And I listen to like the WBEZ people and they're interviewing somebody at a festival, all you hear, one, it's boring AF, and all you hear is crowd noise and shit. It's like you're at a festival or something and you can tell like that they're interviewing a guy like in a tent behind the beer festival.
Right.
So I guess we're being bitter, but I'm just saying.
I think
We,
most
we
sour
need to get this
fucking
out of our
grapes.
system, I think, a little bit.
We're rustled about
And
it.
now I feel better about
But
it.
if you're listening to us, you already know that those other podcasts fucking suck.
I dare, like, if you can find a better podcast than us, let us know.
Seriously, I want to.
So we can listen to it and figure out
and
what.
steal their stuff.
Well,
Right.
no, because I want to listen to a beer show, and I feel like a real asshole listening to myself. So, like, the other beer shows suck. They suck.
They're so boring.
Yeah.
They're either
so
boring, or
boring.
they're just like, woo, we're drunk guys here to get fucked up. We're fucked up today.
Nice burp there, Jason.
Yeah, chug and chug one, good, dude. And then there's a girl there who's just like, come on, guys. Knock that off.
Oh, you guys are crazy.
There's a protagonist on every
Right? It's always
beer
like,
show.
guys, you're being too edgy today.
There's a protagonist.
I don't know.
If we're talking about beer podcasts, like I think the Beerist podcast is in our realm. I mean, they kind of do what we do.
Sure.
They've been around for a long time, and I kind of respect them.
respect that, yeah.
I don't know them.
a newfound respect
But-
for them because they're in Texas, and Texas is a beer desert.
Yeah.
All right,
so,
we'll get to that eventually. However, we should talk about the sour
Ooh,
opal that we
got
just
some
poured
fucking
for
sour
ourselves.
opal.
yes. Now we got sour opal
I think
from
this is
Firestone.
This is Firestone Walker or Barrelworks' first medal of their like wild program.
Yeah.
So
And
this
that
took
kicks
a-
ass because this
think
is
they won
actually
2.
this is a bottle that I brought here like 2 months ago, figuring it's like, oh, we'll do it on the show at some point because I got this when we went out for the Invitational.
Ooh, that's good.
And this is actually only in their tasting room. Like this doesn't go anywhere else.
Yeah.
So it's pretty dope that we just had this in the fridge and then it meddled.
This beer took bronze in the wood and barrel-aged sour beer category.
God damn, that French oak.
Oh, it's super woody. God damn.
Who got the gold, Matt? Who do you think? Southern California Brewery in wood and barrel-aged sour beer.
Wood and barrel-aged sour beer?
SoCal Brewery.
Southern California? I have no idea.
It's easy.
Lost Abbey for Veritas, right?
Veritas 15.
Veritas 15.
Yeah.
Did I taste the Veritas? Because we had that at GABF, didn't we?
We did open a bottle of Veritas at GABF. I don't know whether you had it or not, but I definitely did.
No. I did.
Was it
We
Veritas
did.
15?
We did have it. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
We actually brought 2. I brought one and Zach brought one. This is how we roll at the GIEBF. We had 2 Veritas. It's $80 worth of beer.
To be honest, I'd like to go to GIEBF one day.
Yeah, well.
But as long as I'm granted a media pass, I'm going to the
Heck yeah.
God
to the best
damn.
beer festival in America.
Fuck, dude, this is...
Says the guy who fucking doesn't go to Firestone.
Oh.
I did go.
That's right.
And I
it was-
paid handsomely. I paid like $200 for the early access ticket. So
Oh, wow.
eat a dick.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
The Firestone Fest. Best
Got there
festival.
early. You got some Huna
international.
poos.
And if I can recommend anything, it's buying the early access. Pay the extra $120 because it's
Totally.
it's the
Because
best.
they can get some Huna poos.
Get all the Hernipers.
I got multiple Huna
With
Poos.
some chili peppers.
Get some Aquavit Barrel Aged Dark Lurd.
Aqua Velva.
Some Bramble.
Velva. Wow.
I don't know. When I hear
Pete Rose over here with the Aqua Velva.
when I hear Aquavit, I think Aqua Velva. That's all.
By the way, this is
Sour Opal.
sour opal. This stuff
wow.
it's like got a really nice, delicate acidity.
You know what? This
it's
kind of tastes
super,
like
cream soda oaky.
it tastes like opal but sour.
Strangely
Right.
enough, right?
Yeah, I think that's an accurate description of it.
It's nice to have a sour beer
John, I
with
think
no
you've-
acetic.
I think you've cracked the code.
Yeah, seriously.
And a really nice French oak character that, oh my God.
Powerful.
Again,
it's super oaky.
It's
Wow.
not.
Their,
It's not.
their profile.
It's not. It's not too tart. It's not too acidic. It's not too acetic. It's perfect, and that wood character is great.
Yeah.
It's like
Fucking
good stuff.
Firestone, man.
Blowing Pinocchio.
I just want to point out our man Kyle says that he hasn't actually tried any other beer podcasts.
Thanks, man.
Oh,
He's
Oh, thanks, Kyle.
he's a bro.
Please don't.
he's a monogamous podcast listener.
Yeah,
I
just
appreciate
try it.
that. we
search-
appreciate you, Kyle.
Just search craft beer in your podcast thing and prepare yourself for ear
For
rape.
some not so goodness.
It's either going
We
to
may
be-
not. We may not have won the Brewery Guild Writers thing, but we're ranked 8th in craft beer on iTunes.
We're the brewery of.
If you keep
Podcasts.
rating and
We
if
are.
you keep rating and reviewing us in fucking iTunes, it will help us come for that #1 spot.
Yeah,
Yes,
totally. has, yeah.
we'll definitely get to that.
We still have another beer.
We've got a lot of
Two.
beer.
Holy shit! What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got
We've got Fat Hog from Ritual and
goddamn.
Toaster Pastry from 21st Amendment.
let's do toaster pastry real quick.
I'm sleeping here, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Seriously?
No.
Oh. You're gonna
We're
just
like,
don't Daniel
like,
Katie.
really?
You know, but
You're crashing here?
Kyle's saying we need more air horn. I don't know what that means.
I don't know. What's it sound
That's
like?
that's that hip hop song.
Holy shit.
I hope that came through on mic.
That's that
well
sound. Yeah, I heard it. I heard it loud and clear.
Pretty sure it did. All right, so moving
Suddenly
on.
we're at a rave in Florida.
And also, congrats to Firestone Walker for being awesome, and for Duval Mortgott for also taking some of the credit.
buying
to
them
me,
out.
it's almost like it's funny because I was like commenting online with what won medals and everything else, and it was like they're like, oh yeah, and Firestone won for this and that, and I'm like, well, that's a given. Like to me, it's not even news at this point. It's
so
like,
three golds for Pivo in 3 years.
yeah, and double barrel won silver, I think, or double barrel won a medal again.
Yeah,
Sorry,
DBA one.
I'm beating the crap out of my
Matt
mic.
is a kitty now, and he's so pawing at
So
stuff.
DBA won, and they also won for an English IPA.
with
Hammersmith.
Yeah,
Like a tap room only sort of IPA.
Yeah, I don't even know what that is.
I've had it.
It's an English IPA.
generally on if you go to either of the brew pubs.
God, this smells good.
It smells like weed.
We had this.
It smells like a fresh bag of weed. I'm not even joking.
I believe Sean O'Sullivan poured it himself for
It
us.
smells like if you open up like the Ziploc bag.
Smell to the bag, baby.
Toaster pastry. They shouldn't have called it toaster pastry. It
'Cause
should have been a bag of weed.
Because I'm not Willie fucking Nelson over here. It smells
God
like a bag.
damn.
It smells like Centennial hops to me. Like when you open a foil pack of Centennial hops.
I can't get over this.
That's weed.
No, Centennial hops are not
Oh,
cannabis
wow.
at all.
Oh, wow.
They're related.
Owen
They're
Wilson's
related.
like,
Oh wow. Smells like marijuana.
I had one of these last night, and it did not smell like this. Maybe I was drunk, but this is very aromatic.
Yes.
Holy shit!
This is good. It doesn't taste anything like a Pop-Tart, though.
I thought the same thing.
Yeah, I don't think it's supposed to. I think they just named it that because this is a toaster pastry. Jesus Christ! First show, third show.
Totes pastry.
Yeah, it's
Toast pastry.
toaster pastry from 21st Amendment, and their new facility. This is like one of the first beers out of their new facility. Their new brewery is in a former Kellogg's factory.
And it got
so-
silver.
And it got silver in American Red Ale or
Which I think
whatever?
It's super hoppy
it
for
says
a red.
21st Amendment first medal. I mean, first medal for the new brewery. So that was a huge relief.
Yeah, in the new facility at least.
Right. I don't know if it won
but this
anything
is
before.
also like the second or third beer they put out
I
of the new
generally
facility.
have
It was
fairly low expectations from 21st Amendment. I'm not usually impressed by them.
I
And
agree.
I actually saw this on the shelf, and I was like, no, it's 21st Amendment. I'll skip it.
You're not
And
impressed by 21A?
No, not at all.
Not really, no.
I think the problem with them in SoCal, because they just came down to Southern California for distribution, and I don't think we're getting the freshest stuff.
They came back to SoCal because they were out here for a little while and then they stopped.
When were they here? Like 8 years ago?
Yeah, it was a while ago, like right when they first really started canning, and everyone was like, "Fucking cans, bro!" Like when it was like a really unusual thing, and then they were down here for like 6 months, and then I guess it just didn't sell because they disappeared, and they just recently.
Well,
I base my opinion on them of going to the brew pub and drinking their beer, and I've had it a few different times. It's always like, yeah, okay, pour it black's okay.
Yeah,
you know,
fine.
like brew for your die is passable, but
Yeah.
I mean,
But I really, because I've had their stuff at the brew pub, and it's great. I've seen their stuff here, and it's just not the freshest stuff.
I mean,
yet,
they did serve
so-
Hell or High watermelon with a watermelon garnish, and that was nice.
Yeah.
Cicerone point here. Do you
Okay.
pick up any fresh latex in this beer? Which would be acetaldehyde. Acetaldehyde.
fresh latex is acetaldehyde, really?
For me,
Acetaldehyde.
Like the pumpkin thing.
Okay. Interesting. All right. Yeah, I don't get acetaldehyde off of this at all.
Right.
I mean, like acetaldehyde usually is like a very like sharp green apple aroma.
For me, it's like a pumpkin or latex, like freshly painted room.
That's interesting. I gotta, man, now.
I love freshly painted rims.
Yeah, it's not a bad. This is a very nice beer, by the way, but I'm picking up something that's that latex thing.
I'm not with you on that. Yeah,
Okay.
I don't. I'm
Weird.
not picking that up.
Maybe
at
it's just early in the day.
Could be.
Freshly
Could be.
painted rooms with new carpet. Smells
Yeah.
like a new house.
Pretty much.
Yeah. That new
It
house
smells like
smell.
it smells
It
like
smells like a new
fire.
house.
It smells like flame retardant.
But solid beer all around, though.
Yeah, but this is what I was
Honestly,
really impressed.
I'm gonna go buy a pack of this on the way home. This is fucking good.
It's individual
and also a
cans.
pint.
Is it?
Yeah,
What's the what
ABV is like 7.5.
Yeah, it's
no,
in a
the,
tall
the size
can,
of the
too.
can though is that a
16?
20 ounce
20 ounces or some fucking weird.
It's narrow. It's. I think it's 16. It's just narrow.
Take a Red Bull can and then double it.
and make it tall. Yeah.
That's
no,
what
it's
it is.
19.2 ounces. It must be something metric. Because that's a fucking arbitrary ass size.
Yeah, I'm gonna look that
But
up.
21A has always been cans.
92's an
I kinda
imperial
want-
pint.
I'd like to have a 21A
really?
beer in a bottle just because.
It's
That'd be different.
no, it makes no goddamn sense. It's 567 milliliters.
Dale's Pale Ale comes in those cans, too.
Does it?
Yeah, that's a really strange size. That must just be
19.2s.
like a ball can company like oddball size. Like someone fucked up on a design and they're like, I guess it's going to be 19.2.
Yeah, because it's not it's the diameter is not the same as a regular can of beer as far as I can tell. It's just a little skinnier.
Yeah.
But tall. So
It's the same girth, but just a little taller.
I know
I
the
wish it was
feeling.
a baller.
it's the size
I know-
of
I
a,
know
it's
the
the size
feeling.
of a very large penis, I'd say.
That's a big ass cock.
Yeah.
Like it really is.
Big toaster.
That is
This
a-
is why we don't win a prestigious beer award.
This is why you can't have nice things.
Motherfucker.
That is something to be proud of.
Look
right
at that
there.
thing. That's a huge cock.
whip it out.
You
Seriously.
scare people away with that. They're like,
Whip
nope.
that can out
Like
and put
that,
it on the table.
like you wouldn't be able to buy underwear with that thing in your pants, dude. Seriously,
I'm gonna try
Like,
that.
You
at the break.
like you would have to buy loose boxers and they would be tight because of your giant dong.
Greg's going to
Seriously.
fucking post a picture on the Facebook of him with fucking toaster pastry cannons.
I'm just gonna put it in there and walk out. And be, hey, Yvonne, how's it going? What's up?
Christ. Oh, look at my giant beer can dick.
Get the fuck out.
All right, so moving on to our last GABF medalist, local favorite, especially of yours, Jason's, because you work like right down the street.
Yes, this is like my home brewery. It's the one I go to all the dang time.
Ritual Brewing Company.
Ritual in Redlands, California.
Yep. They took gold in the barley wine style ale category.
They also-
Silver and bronze are both breweries I've never heard of. Brewery Riccoli.
No idea who that is.
Yeah. For Static. What? Okay. And then 3 Magnets Brewing for Old Skook. SKOOK.
Old Skook.
What is a skook?
It sounds like some kind of racial slur.
Check
I know,
out.
right? It's
Yeah.
kind of
Look
like
up Skook on Urban Dictionary. See if you've anything.
Yeah, let's
pops
look up what skook means.
we all know what skook sounds like, but I'm not going to say it.
If you've never,
It's like grandma pussy
this
or
is
something.
from Urban Dictionary.
Well, if we're talking about giant beer cocks, we might as well talk about grandma pussy.
It's a Pennsylvania slang. Someone from Schuylkill County, Pennsylvania, also known as the coal region. If you've never met a skook, you're missing out on a very distinct part of society.
Oh, so it's like a coal worker, like a blue collar.
I guess, yeah.
So
It seems like a slur. And this definition was posted by Rusty Bong Polish Shackelford, so I think he's pretty legit.
Rusty Bong Polish Shackelford.
oh, Bone Polish Shackelford.
His nickname works so well with his actual name. Shackelford.
Randy Shackelford.
Rusty.
Rusty.
Okay. Rusty Shackelford sounds like a used car salesman. You know what I mean? Come down to Shackelford Motors and see Rusty Shackelford.
Old Bong Polish will set you up.
Old Bone Polish Shackelford. Bone Polish Shackelford will sell you this 2003 Honda Civic for only $59.99.
Dude, name for an IPA, Bong Polish.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh my god.
Just real quick, secret to all the stoners out there: if you want to clean your glass, PBW
Yep.
fucking owns.
Yep.
I mean, I like soak your shit in PBW, a little bit of scraping, and you're good to go.
I think you should call the PBW people, remarket it as Bong Polish, and
That will make a
sell it in
fortune.
dispensaries. You get all that
Yeah.
dispensary money.
You're welcome, 5-star chemicals.
They're like, finally, we can crack the weed market.
Hey man, that's a big upcoming market. Just saying.
So, yeah, the beer we're drinking is Fat Hog barley wine. Did we mention the name of it?
No, we didn't. Fat Hog barley wine.
I'm not a big,
really tasty.
I'm not a big barley wine guy.
What?
I'm not either.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, here and there, but generally I don't.
It's kind of hoppy.
I don't dig on swine.
It's kind of hoppy. It's actually kind of oxidized.
Yeah,
but it
that's what I
has
got
it
too.
has that like kind of sherry sort of oxidation. It's not like
It's the good oxidation.
it's not like cardboard papery.
I actually had this on Nitro at the brewery a couple weeks ago, and it was phenomenal.
Was I there for that? Or was that earlier?
No, I think when we went, the Fat Hog wasn't on, but they had their second runnings version of Big Deluxe. It's like the 4.5%.
Right.
Yeah, Big Deluxe, their Imperial Stout, also won for aged beer.
Aged beer, and this is something that I want to point out. Aged beer is an interesting category because Alaskan Smoked Porter has had that category on lockdown for like 10 years. I
love that beer.
Seriously, like it like forever. It's like if Smoked Porter didn't win gold, it won silver. You know, who can you look that up real quick to
Yeah,
see? Like,
I wanna
because
see.
I would bet Alaskan Smoked Porter is in there somewhere. And if it's not, the goddamn judges
won
are
no
fools.
medals.
There are no Alaskan.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah, it was a Ritual. Old Diablo from Morgan Territory Brewing took bronze, and then Sasquatch from 903 Brewers in Sherman, Texas.
Yeah,
took,
Alaskan. They didn't get any medals.
That's crazy because Alaska. I don't remember what the stat is, but either Alaskan has the most medals of any brewery, or Alaskan Smoked Porter is the most decorated beer. It's one of the two, but it's because they keep winning over and over and over in aged beer every single
The
year.
guys at the brewery were saying they entered it in aged beer because it wasn't quite style appropriate for like the stout categories.
Well, yeah, which I didn't really buy because it's like well, it doesn't really fit because it has oats in it, and I'm like, just don't tell them it has oats. You can still put an imperial stout and not tell them it has oats in it.
I think all they had was a 2013 keg of it. Which is what they sent.
Wow.
So.
But Ritual, they're kind of the jewel of the IE at the moment.
They really are. Yeah.
They're making great beer, and they're kind of unsung. They're not really.
They're very much unsung. They're under the radar quite
and
a
so
bit.
I'm curious to see what we'll get. What'll happen now that they have 2 GABF golds to their name. You know? I wonder if that'll bring in a lot of Wales bros.
Who knows? This stuff is bitter. Wow, this is American. This is about as American as a barley wine can get. Jesus.
You're welcome.
But I'm enjoying it altogether. It's quite nice.
I will say it's nice to be from a part of the country that you can just. I mean, we got 6 or 7 beers that medaled at GABF, and it's awesome that we can
we got them in a couple of days' notice.
Yeah, we
Fresh.
just have them.
Fresh
the Sour
source.
Opal's probably the whale of them all because you have to go to Barrel Works to get it.
Right.
But
Yeah, most of these we just picked up on the shelf.
Yep.
it says a lot about Southern California and how awesome the breweries down here are, and I'm really proud to be from SoCal.
If you're from
pretty cool.
anywhere else, I'm sorry.
Proud to be a Socalian. At least I know I beer.
Whip at your SoCal cock.
I won't forget the IPAs.
So I hope you guys had fun at GABF.
Yeah, GABF
It was great, man.
It's always great. Also, I wanted to say this year they expanded the floor space.
Did they?
Meet the
Good.
brewer.
Quite a bit. I want to say I forgot what they said last year. What the percentage was? I want to say it's like 20% more
Last
space.
year was 48,000 people. This year was 60,000 people.
Jesus.
They added, I'm not sure the square footage or anything, but they had like a side festival of non-regional breweries, and it was called like Meet the Brewer or something like that.
It was a lottery. You could enter your brewery to go into that special area. You had to have one representative from the brewery.
But dude, like Surly was in there, like
Yeah.
you know, people who have been on the floor before that opted to have like Todd
Sure.
Hogg pouring beer. You know,
Nice.
how rad is that?
But I'm just saying that area, it like opened up GABF so much. You've never been, Jason, but it's not like it was crowded or anything. I mean, it gets crowded.
I think it alleviated the, you know, some of the. It gets pretty crowded.
I was telling Julia hers when I saw her. I saw her at the Pro-Am booth where they had all the Pro-Am beers, which Jamie Barlow was one of those. He didn't win, but his beer was there. It was pretty good. But I told her, I go, this is great. Like all this extra space, it's nice. And in that same area, they had the Brewers Guild area, which Greg, you told me if you want to drink good beer, just hang out there. And I did that Saturday after the awards.
Yeah, you can go straight down that line of all the brewer guilds.
Oh my God. Like, and dude from Surly was pouring Surly Todd. Like where are they from?
Minnesota.
So the Minnesota Brewers Guild thing.
Yeah.
I wanted to bring it up on the show, but I didn't, obviously.
So
but
if
the
you
Brewers
go
Guild
to-
beers were all good. Like it was so good. It was that I was there for like 30 minutes just drinking their beers, and you sit down and talk to them, and there's no lines, and they're all great beers.
And they're all well represented. Like if you have a half hour in the GABF, you go right down that line of all the Brewers Guilds, and like here's your Pliny, and here's your Supplication for California, and then you keep going down the line, and here's my Matt Becker.
I didn't see any.
What?
I didn't see any SoCal beer guilds there.
The California one was there. Tom McCormick was
sure?
Yeah.
Oh, I must have
He's
missed
on the
it.
left under C.
But yeah, it was cool. That extra space though was nice.
Sweet.
I'm gonna visit the Thieves Guild.
And there was a brew pub pavilion. They had
Right on.
bands playing. They had cornhole at the Brew Pub Pavilion.
Yeah, they're really putting a lot of thought into GABF. And I guess all the breweries that wanted to go to GABF that entered in time, like last year was a big clusterfuck. Like a lot of breweries missed out because they were actually doing things like brewing beer and forgot to register like within the first 5 minutes. And this
Everybody
year,
got in.
Everybody got in.
Nice.
The Brewers Association is doing a really good job of making sure that anybody who wants to go to GABF can go to GABF and they don't have to murder a baby to go there.
Yeah,
So-
they
But
didn't,
if you want to murder a baby, I mean,
they
shouldn't.
They didn't like Band-Aid fix all the issues. They really fixed the issues.
Sure.
Nice.
No, and that's awesome. That just for that one reason, they actually care. And that's great. The Brewers Association is awesome. So-
right on.
It's huge.
Well, if you want to find us on the internet, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat. You can find all that information at 4brewers.com. You can go on patreon.com/4brewers if you want to support the show. You can
I
give
just
us 50 cents, buck a show, all that kind of stuff. We got merch. We got new shirts. What's the deets on the shirts, guys?
The Dank Sauce Whales shirt.
Yep.
Yeah. It's
It may remind you of a certain familiar beer label.
what are you talking about?
Which I really enjoy the
You know,
design.
we just made a green shirt with a red dot in the middle.
A very
with
large
some Comic Sans
red,
font.
some Comic Sans.
Yeah.
It does look, now that I think of it, it does look kind of like a Japanese World War II plane's wing.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm down with that.
But
Some Comic Sans.
I think what we're saying is we're going to give what did we say, 1 or 2?
Let's give 2.
If you're a patron on Patreon, we're going to randomly select a patron and give them give 2 people free green t-shirts that have red dots on them that may not be plenty ripoffs.
That don't look at all like a certain
It's
beer
an
label.
original creation like Ricky Rouse or Mottled Muck.
Right.
Pretty much.
When do we want to announce the winner of that? Today being the 3rd when we're recording this.
We have
when-
about
the campaign
we have
ends in
about
2 weeks for the
9
shirts.
days left, so
Yeah.
we've got a week. If you hear this tomorrow, if you hear this
week to week.
If you want to buy the shirt, just go to Teespring, teespring.com, search for 4 Brewers, and it'll pop up. But we have like around 12 days left on the campaign right now as of when we're
we can
recording.
link the shirt on the blog too.
Yep. So
And we'll give 2 of our Patreons at random because we're giving back to the Patreons.
Yeah.
We
Definitely.
need to do more for you people because you do a lot for us.
And thank you for supporting the show because holy shit,
People are
It's
really-
awesome.
It's rad. Yeah, it really helps us out a lot. Also go on iTunes and give us a rating. Give us 5 stars because nothing else matters. Also, if you want to get in touch with us directly, you can hit us up at feedback@4brewers.com and brew the shit out of it.
Wow.
I'm gonna brew the pee out of it.
seriously.
Never open myself this way.
Life is ours. We live it all.
Love us all. We live it all way.
Yeah.
That's like New Hetfield. He'd go out there like, how y'all doing? Life is ours, living our way, yeah. Lost my gravel when I stopped drinking.
I will say this about James.
Now nobody cares.
He used to phone in Enter Sandman as far as vocals goes, because like if you listen to the record, it's like that he's really hitting his vocal threshold.
Right.
And during the actual Black Album tour, it was like he would do that thing where it's like a lower octave, and now old James Hetfield is hitting it, and you can tell he's struggling. It's kind of sad. Makes me sad to see James Hetfield get old because he was that Coors Light drinking homie that I was never actually friends with, and now he's an old man who can hardly sing Enter Sandman.
If you really wanna just ruin the mystery of Metallica, just some kind of monster, you're just like, wow, well, any romance I had about this band is
Oh wow, you guys are douchebags.
it's like fucking Dave Mustaine's in there fucking crying. It's like, what the fuck's happening to this goddamn thing? This is the least metal thing I've ever seen. It's like, let's all go to our same therapist.
Oh, Joe, but there you